I'm Trooper Teal with Illinois State Police. As we enter spring planting season in Illinois, it is imperative to eliminate distractions in your vehicle and pay attention to the farm equipment on the roadway. At 55 miles per hour, it takes only 5 seconds to close the gap the length of a football field between you and a tractor moving 5 miles per hour. Distracted Driving Awareness Month in April is a united effort to recognize and eliminate preventable deaths from distracted driving. Join us to help save lives.
A message from the Illinois Farm Bureau and the Illinois State Police.
As you prepare for planting season, remember your neighbors. Whether you're an applicator, grower, or beekeeper, use FieldWatch to register your farm and monitor for sensitive sites around you. FieldWatch is a free, easy-to-use online mapping tool. Consulting FieldWatch is now a requirement for the over-the-top use dicamba products. Communicating with your neighbors will help you protect your farm and the environment. Don't wait. Go online to fieldwatch.com. Growing agriculture, we grow best together.
You're listening to RFD Town and Country Partners, connecting you with the food you eat, the Illinois farmers who grow it, and the food-related events, destinations, and lifestyles that make our state great.
Welcome to RFD Town and Country Partners. On a Thursday, I'm DeLawrence Yonke. Also joined in studio, Rachel Torbert is here from our Division of News and Communications and our resident horse expert. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, DeLawrence?
Good. You don't mind me calling you an expert, do you?
Well, nobody would ever mind being called an expert.
Certainly. And joining us over the phone up in Madison, Wisconsin, Megan Hanashock at the Midwest Horse Fair taking place this weekend. Megan, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
Hey, we're doing all right. The first question, though, I really am curious, what is going on weather-wise, and how has that gone, just moving in all the exhibitors, all the livestock, all that? How's it been the last couple of days?
Oh, sure. We've got a hardy bunch, a hardy crew here, so it's the rain, it slows things down a little bit. There's some rain. We've seen a little snow yesterday, but mostly on and off rain today. But it's everyone is still here, ready for a weekend full of horses. We're going to have a packed house, and we're going to be ready to go for tomorrow.
Wow, that's better than I would have expected. I would have thought more snow, so we can deal with rain. Yeah, we don't have to push snow out of the way, so that's not bad. So tell us about this. This has a long history. How big, how long have you been having this event?
Yeah, Midwest Horse Fair is 40 years old this year. It's our 40th anniversary. We're celebrating with our theme 40 Years of Legends. We formed in 1979 with our first event in 1980, and we've been growing strong since then. It started as a small-scale event, 2-day show with, I believe it was about 58 vendors in total, and we've grown today. We have 500 vendors, about 300 different events we run throughout the course of the weekend, about 600 horses on site, and we generally bring in and see about 60,000 attendees over those 3 days.
Wow, that's fantastic. And so you went from a few dozen exhibitors to now a few hundred exhibitors, so that's very well represented.
Yes. We have vendors from all over the country and a few international as well. And it's everything from saddles and trailers and trucks, and even some things that people who may not own a horse might enjoy, jeans and boots and hats and items such as that.
Megan, you said it. It grew from something smaller to a much bigger expo now, and I was poking around on your website. You've got a lot of great stuff planned, but for somebody like me, I have horses, but I've never been up there. So for somebody who's never been there, what brings you in? What's the big selling point to get people there?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just, I think, the variety of it, really. You can come and spend a whole day and honestly not see everything on the grounds. There's just so much to do and see. So you take your time, shop for a bit, and then when maybe your feet are tired, you can sit down in the arenas, watch breed and discipline demonstrations, and learn about several of the over 33 different breeds that we have here on the grounds. There's also specialty entertainment acts like our Grand March that we do in the middle of the day. We bring in professionals like Jason Goodman with his Percheron Thunder. Bobby Kerr and his Mustang Act, and so you get to see just a lot of variety and versatility in one location in this 164 acres.
So, and I have a question, because I like I said, I was poking around on your website. One of the things that I saw was the World Championship Blacksmith competition. Mm-hmm. Tell me about that. What is that?
Yeah, they've been joining us for 10 years. It's a fabulous competition. There's about 70 competitors this year, and they're blacksmiths from across the country, and they compete through the whole stage of forming a horseshoe all the way to finishing with a live shoeing competition. So they start with your bar stock iron, and they form it into a shoe. They're judged on it. If there's a lot of action and description from the announcers, but you get to sit up close and personal and see that live, the whole process start to finish.
That's great. We had a blacksmith in my hometown, and so I'm always partial to a good blacksmith, but we never had horses. He was fixing things like silage wagons and other things, but we never saw him do anything with horseshoes. So that would be a lot of fun to watch. When you're talking about 40 years of legends, are we talking about horses as well as those who rode them and handled them? It seems like that would, you would have a little bit of both that way.
Yeah, absolutely. We bring in roughly 40 expert clinicians over the course of the weekend, but, of course, the horses are really stars, too. And for that, we have a celebrity horse alley, and there's several very famous horses joining us this year. One in particular is Foiled Again. He's the richest harness racing horse in the history of the sport. He has just recently retired this past year, and he has a Breyer horse model replicated after him.
It's probably going to be a lot of, we're talking about hardcore enthusiasts and not just a hobby, but, this is big time stuff. But also just for someone who says, you know what, we've talked about getting a horse for years. How do you go about doing it? This seems like a pretty good place to start.
It is. Our Coliseum hosts a number of clubs and organizations. It's a great place to get information, ask questions, see the horses up close in the barns, get to talk with horse owners, horse breeders. And so it's really for everyone, whether you're a horse professional or just, curious about horses, want to see a horse up close or learn how to start riding.
The website, by the way, is MidwestHorseFair.com. You can buy a ticket for a day. You can buy 3 days worth of tickets. You can do that up front, or you can do that through Ticketmaster as well. And, Madison, especially if you're in northern Illinois, that's a pretty easy drive and up there, and away you go. Get some cheese curds on your way home, and you can certainly make a weekend out of it. Yeah, are you guys are you stuffed to the gills at this point? Is just how have you been able to manage growth over time? It seems like this would just be especially such a big event like this in a 3-day weekend. Is this something that you hope to continue to grow, or are you pretty stuffed at this point?
We are, and like I said, we do use just about every inch of our 164 acres here at the Alliant Energy Center. There's always room for new ideas and expanding that way, and that's what we thrive on. As far as our attendance goes, there's a little known secret, and that is the Sunday of the event. It offers everything that Friday and Saturday offer, with the great shopping, great venues, plenty of things to see and do in the schedule, but it's a little bit lower traffic, so you can get through the gates fast. Some of the vendors are starting to offer deals those days, looking to sell off some stock. So Sunday's kind of a little secret tip to attending Midwest Horse Fair.
This is the same venue that World Dairy Expo is every October as well. Rachel, as a veteran of doing these things, but especially a place like this, just the how to get started. I guess that depends on the interest of each person, but how do you attack something like this?
Well, I think for me, as I always grew up showing horses and working my own. So for me, I want to go see the clinicians, and I there's the Midwest Horse Fair. It looks to me like they just run the gamut of clinicians. So it doesn't matter what your discipline or what your experience or knowledge level is, there is a clinician for everything that you can go see and get some good information and get yourself started.
I think about the county fair where people can just go up and down the aisles of where the livestock is. Can you do that at a place like this? Because a lot of people, and you don't want to get anybody too jumpy at an event like this. I mean, how hands-on can it be for people coming to an event like this, Megan?
It's very accessible. There are 2 pavilions on the grounds. The Pavilion 1 houses our Stallion Avenue and a full-size arena, and all the horses are there for the public's viewing. Pavilion 2 houses the majority of our horses, a little over 500 in that pavilion, and attendees are welcome to walk up and down, talk to the owners of those horses, talk to the breed and discipline groups in those stalls, and with permission, pet horses as well. With permission.
That's a key phrase.
We like to emphasize that, keeping in mind biosecurity practices, of course, and horse health and safety.
Wow. I'm just trying to think where all the trailers are parked. But that's part of the grounds too, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yep, it's a organized location, but yes, there certainly are plenty of trailers on the ground.
We have 30 seconds here. Actually, we have a break coming up, so hang on the line for just a little bit. We have a piece we're going to run, but hang on for a few minutes, and we want to ask you some more questions about the 40th Midwest Horse Fair in Madison, Wisconsin. The website is midwesthorsefair.com. I'm DeLoss Yankee. Rachel Torbert is also here from our News and Communications Division, and we'll talk more horse talk next on RFD Town & Country Partners.
Farmers value clean water, and every day they're working to leave the land, air, and water in better shape for their families, neighbors, and future generations. In recent years, federal agencies have muddied the waters with overreaching rules and regulations that are more about controlling land than protecting water. The new Clean Water Rule announced by the Environmental Protection Agency and Army Corps provides clarity so farmers can comply with the law while protecting the environment, growing crops, and tending livestock. The new rule would end years of uncertainty over where federal jurisdiction begins and ends. Now's the time to make your voice heard. Text WATERS to 52886 and support the new Clean Water Rule proposed by the EPA and Army Corps. Don't wait. The 60-day comment period has begun, so text WATERS to 52886. Contact your local county farm bureau for more information on clean water and clear rules.
With another farm, family, and food-related Illinois event you and your family might enjoy, I'm Mike Orso with RFD Town & Country Partners. Want to meet a real farmer and get an up-close look at some of the most modern technology used to run today's Illinois farms? If so, head to the northeast Illinois city of St. Charles, where Touch a Tractor takes place this weekend.
We're certainly want them to ask those questions so we can inform them and so they're better educated on what we do.
Joe White serves as president of the Kane County Farm Bureau, where thousands are expected for Touch a Tractor at the organization's headquarters. White explains what visitors can expect to see and do.
Well, it's all volunteers that bring in their equipment. We do have both modern equipment and antique equipment. We try to fill the lawn. We typically have a John Deere S680 combine, I believe it is, the farmer that's been bringing it in for a number of years with a 16-row head on it. He also brings in his 36-row corn planter, and then there'll be a self-propelled John Deere sprayer there. We've actually got an antique Fort Huron steam engine that'll be in.
Located right next to the Kane County Fairgrounds, the Touch a Tractor event will also include games, farm animals, and food. White says it's a way to find out how food was produced, is produced, as well as supporting agriculture literacy and students that want to study agriculture.
It's $2 for an adult or $5 for a family, and 18 and younger is free admission. And if someone purchases or has a winner's choice raffle ticket, the family can get in free for the entire weekend. So we encourage everyone to purchase our winner's raffle ticket, and that way it gives them admission, and then it also enters them into the drawing for a 1966 Ford 100 pickup or a 1956 Massey Harris Model 333 tractor or $3,500 in cash.
A lot of talk and demonstrations have taken place in recent years about driverless farm equipment. The Elburn farmer says the technology, for at least one particular use in the fall, is probably not that far away.
The tractor with the grain cart that will come to the combine and follow the combine, and so you can unload on the go, and then it'll turn around and go back to the truck on the headland.
Touch a Tractor starts this Friday at noon and runs till 4. It runs 10 to 4 on Saturday, 10 to 3 on Sunday. You can find Kane County Farm Bureau at the intersections of Oak Street and Randall Road in St. Charles. For RFD Town and Country Partners, I'm Mike Orso.
RFD Radio Network's Jim Taylor connects rural routes for you. You can trust Jim every morning for your overnight markets. He gets up early to help keep farmers on top of their game. Here's a bit about his rural routes.
I have the opportunity to cover something different every day and provide listeners with up-to-date markets, news they need to do their job and be successful, from legislative issues to crop updates and weather, of course.
Be it routes or routes, RFD Radio, FarmWeekNow.com, and Farm Week keep you connected.
It's where your home is built, your landscape is planted, and your children play. Land is all around us, so Illinois farmers have dedicated years to learning how to best care for it. Today, we're bridging modern knowledge with resources from Mother Nature to promote natural soil activity and choosing crops that enhance soil health. To learn more about conservation efforts, visit ilfarmersconserve.com. Preserving our water, protecting our land, providing our food.
This message brought to you by Illinois Farm Bureau.
Welcome back to RFD Town and Country Partners. I'm DeLoss Yonke. Rachel Torbert is in studio, and Megan Hanishak is in Madison, Wisconsin, the 40th Annual Midwest Horse Fair. Rachel, just as a person who's exhibited, now as a parent as well, thinking about events like this, I mean, hopefully I don't need too much cash to go to an event like this, but I'll bet there's a lot of great shopping at an event like this as well.
Well, from my experience, yeah, and Megan, I'm assuming you've got lots of great vendors lined up, from everything from tack to clothing, show clothes even?
Show clothes, tack, equipment, trailers, trucks, small trinkets and gifts as well, even country-style furniture.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, we just spent a lot of money just running the gamut there. So, you could do it within your own budget, but there's always going to be something of I don't have that, or let's complete the collection, or I've been looking for something like that, and I imagine it's going to be at the show.
Yes, that's right. There's a lot of variety. It's and certainly for those who aren't necessarily interested in shopping, once you're on the grounds with your general admission pass, all the clinics, lectures, demonstrations are free to attend from there. So for those not interested in shopping, taking in all the entertainment, there's plenty to keep you busy for the day.
Now, what about your evening entertainment? I think you guys have an evening show. Is that included in your general admission?
The evening shows are separate. Friday night we run a PRCA rodeo. That is very popular and did sell out this year about a month in advance. So very, very fun event there. Then Saturday night we're doing something very different, unique, exciting this year. It's our legendary night. And that is a combination of professional horse acts and also the finale of the Mustang Challenge. It's the top 10 finalists will be performing a musical freestyle. And a little bit more about the Mustang Challenge. There were 57 competitors at the start of this, and in January they picked up a wild Mustang, a completely untouched wild horse that has not had human contact aside from the roundup. And they've been working with these horses over the last 90 days to gentle and train them in preparation for their debut here tomorrow.
That's really cool. So you can do a couple things. You know, you just split people up. One goes shopping, and one goes and watches this, and then you meet at the rodeo or the Legend Show on Saturday. So that can work pretty well. And this big Coliseum as well. You're talking about something that's sold out. I mean, we're talking about we're talking about thousands of people
that's right. It's
sold out a month in advance.
About 8,000.
Wow, That's fantastic. Anything else about the show that you want to mention that we haven't asked you about yet, or a couple of special things coming up for the weekend?
There's on Sunday we are offering a freestyle dressage competition. There's several different divisions, and these are very talented, highly skilled horses and individuals competing with a musical freestyle complete with costuming and theatrics. And that's taking place on Sunday, April 14th in the Coliseum. So that's a new competition for us this year.
And, Megan, I guess anything else about those, that dressage freestyle, it seems like it's becoming increasingly popular. What's the feedback been on that?
It's been really quite positive. We're just really excited to see them perform. The competitors have put a lot of effort into, it's not just something they come out and do on the spot. They put a lot of planning into it, and they're working with a choreographer to plan out their steps and time it with music. So it really, it's very touching experience to watch them perform. So it's been a very positive feedback on it.
Gotta be careful, Rachel. If you take your little lady up there, she may come back with a bunch of expectations and a to-do list.
I can't afford that, I don't think.
You can go as a spectator, but it's another thing to bring all that back. Well, hopefully the forecast holds up for you as well, because it's been an adventure up there. Hopefully the winds haven't been too bad, and as the weekend goes on, you'll be in better shape.
Yes, thank you for that. It's like I said, we've got some hardy stock here, and despite some early on difficult weather, we've everyone's showing up, everyone's here, they're ready to go. We've got a lot of indoor spaces, so there's plenty of areas to warm up if necessary. But like I said, we've got a packed house.
How long have you been with the horse fair?
I've been with the organization for 8 years.
Okay. So you've been able to see it grow over time, then, I assume, to get to where you are right now.
I have. It's fun to look back and just look at the little differences where things were located, the different competitions we've seen over the years. There's always something new to offer, and I myself am always just amazed at the variety that we bring each year.
Well, thanks so much for doing this. I know you're swamped the day before the big event, so we appreciate you visiting with us, and best of luck for a great show this weekend.
Thank you very much.
Rachel, thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Rachel Torbert in studio with us from our News and Communications Division, and all over the phone, Megan Hanashock for the Great Midwest Horse Fair, Alliant Energy Center, Madison, Wisconsin. This weekend, you can purchase tickets there as well as find them on Ticketmaster. I'm DeLoss Yankee, RFD Town & Country Partner.